Hey guys, Jessica here from ACP Accounting. Today I want to talk to you about 5 things that a business owner should be doing at the beginning of the year. So let's start first with those W-2s and 1099s. Yep, it's that time of year. By January 31st, that's a new date this year, all those W-2s and 1099s need to be out. So make sure you've checked with your payroll company and you know who is responsible for issuing those W-2s. Then check with your accountant about the 1099 regulations. There's a lot of new ones this year. We're actually going to be putting a video out about those separately. But make sure you've touched base with your accountant and you guys know what's going on there as far as those 1099 changes. So that's step 1. Get those important government forms off and in the mail. Step 2 is going to be to finalize your year-end numbers. This is where we're sending over financial statements to our clients right now. We're trying to wrap up all of the data entry for the year. So make sure you take a minute to look at those numbers and that they make sense to you. If you've purchased any assets, even if you think your accountant knows about it, now's the time to make sure and remind them. For our clients, for instance, if you buy a new truck, I want to see a bill of sale, so I make sure and get every little deduction off of there into the system. Sometimes we don't add assets until the end of the year, so that's why it's important just to refresh everybody involved and make sure we don't leave out any key number for your end of the year purposes. For a lot of our clients, this already happened in December, so we're just kind of chugging along, starting the year off, making sure that we're getting all of those end of the year statements sent in to us. Step 3 is going to be for our Arizona only clients. And there's a lot of opinions about this new legislation, but opinions aside, Prop 206 drastically impacts most of our business owners. So I want you guys to do your homework and figure out how Prop 206 applies to your business. Do you fall under the exemption? Do you not fall under the exemption? Do you need to start offering sick pay? So do your homework and let us know if you have any questions about Prop 206, but we got to look into it. Step 4 is going to be to start planning for quarter 1. So we should have all set goals. There's been a whole bunch of videos and New Year's resolutions and all that good stuff about goals. So make sure that even though you're working on finalizing last year from a tax standpoint, that you've already started saving for quarter 1. It just so happens that when we submit the tax return for the end of the year, it's about the same time as what it is to pay your first quarter estimated taxes or payroll taxes, depending on what you've got going on. So make sure you have a quarter 1 plan in place. Lastly, step 5 is going to be keep an ear out for any new legislation. I'm not always the first to hear about things. In fact, a lot of times somebody will hear through things from a rumor mill or a political drip stream that I'm not necessarily a part of. When it's all legalized, I hear about it. But in the works of that, there are some things that sometimes happen that we're not sure of. So make sure that you've checked with your accountant throughout the year, that you have a plan in place to check with them throughout the year about any new legislation. I kind of feel like this year's going to be a little bit different for businesses. There are going to be some new incentives. That happens anytime there's a new presidential election. It doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republican. Anytime there's a new president, there's typically tax change that year. So make sure that you're paying attention to what's going on in that world and how that impacts you. If you hear of any tax legislation and you're not sure of if it affects you or not, don't hesitate to send us an email, give us a phone call, and we can let you know if that's one of those things that's still in rumor mill mode or if it's something that is kind of looking like it's going to be legalized. So I'm Jessica with ACP Accounting, making sure that you have your checklist ready for 2017 so you can have a great year. Thanks, guys.